In the light of the current events, whether it's the Epstein files or AI taking over so rapidly, and we're understanding how democracy is going out of the window and a lot of surveillance is coming back in, it's pretty messed up, and the world is clearly going towards a dystopian era. And we Muslims are not too surprised by it because we already have the predictions of the Day of the Judgment, and many of them align. So it's like, oh yeah, we know about it, but oh shit, it's here. That kind of emotion. And in the light of all of this, I asked myself a question, Tanzila. You're a very small person in terms of this whole magnitude of world impact and all of that. You cannot influence US to behave in a certain way, or Shaitan Yahoo. What can you do? And in this line of questioning with myself, I thought of something. I said, why am I not reconnecting with something that holds the most truth for me, which is my religion, which is my faith? As a Muslim, they believe in one God, they believe in Quran and all the teachings. And why don't I interpret the Quran on my own? And I thought of this when I was 15 as well, when I was very young, where I could not find any reference of people with disabilities in Islam, and I felt really out of place. And I thought to myself that the God who's so merciful, he keeps repeating that, he keeps showing that, how come he has said nothing about people with disabilities? Now, there is one surah in the Quran, but apart from that, if I would get to hear anything about disability, it's always about favoring the parents. That, oh, a disabled child is born because God wants to favor the parents. But by the end of the day, that disabled child is growing into an adult. They are the ones living the life. They are the ones facing the actual stigma. They are the ones struggling to eat, to go to the bathroom, to actually settle in. And there's no mention of that. Even big scholars, I've heard their videos, I have never seen them talk about it this way. And then I was like, you know what, something's not adding up. So this summer, I decided to do something. I'm halfway through into it and I'm enjoying it so much that I wanted to just talk about it midway, which is I'm actually interpreting the Quran myself. I'm actually reading all the surahs and ayahs and making my own notes, and I intend to do this every year. And it's super easy because my mother language is Urdu. So I just listen to translations of 30 minutes in a day or in 2 days per para. These are available on YouTube. Anyone can just go and, just engage. And I make my own notes, and I want to do this every summer so I can compare in terms of my own growth. Like, how much have I grown and how much more I understand what the ayahs are trying to tell me, specifically to me as a brown girl living abroad who has a disability, how much it is applicable to me. And I am enjoying it so much because first time in my life I have felt that it's just God and me. There is no clerk in between. There is no one in between translating. My intention is to hear God directly talk to me, and that is the Quran. And right now the Quran is directly talking to Tanzila. And I've already had so much inspiration. I have made list of du'as that God has already mentioned in the Quran about what you should pray for, what you shouldn't pray for. And it is so contextual and relaxing. And I also feel that many times there aren't enough interpretation and discussions from a feminist point of view as well, because we tend to believe that these activities are just limited to some religious scholars and only they can interpret, they can tell us what's in there. But no, I think we should regularly interpret, debate among ourselves and have a discussion about what does the Quran actually say. Because right now, if there is any truth to anything, it is the Quran. So instead of stressing out about dystopia or people who are evil and they're trying to control the world, honey, Allah controls the world. And the best way to be part of a peace and to be part of the good side of history is to actually connect with the word of Allah, which is the Quran. So I'm loving it, and if you want to join with me in doing this, please comment on this video or DM me. I would love to have more people do this together, have regular sessions, and we could really create this religious harmony among ourselves, minus the patriarchal and orthodox mindsets, the cultural lens on religion, the political lens on religion, and just look at religion as a source of peace and comfort, that how much it validates our own trauma and our own pain, and nothing is going to waste. Good people will be rewarded at the end, so even your smallest deed would matter. And at the same time, people who've hurt you will be held accountable as well. So I think connecting with religion in this way is really offering me a lot of peace, and I'm sharing this method with all of you because I really want this to become a source of peace for everyone.